Hi everyone. So I'm Swapna. I have total 15 plus years of experience in IT. So I have 15 plus years of experience in software and development. I have worked in MUMS, HL7, JavaScript, and Salesforce. Salesforce, I have 8 plus years of experience. So in Salesforce, I have worked on total 16 projects, including Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Marketing Cloud, and Community Cloud. So I have been working with the multiple companies and end-to-end knowledge from the administration to the till LWC. So including Lightning Aura, Lightning Flows, LWC, development, everything I have taken care. And also I have worked with the client. So I have been interacting with the clients and I'm working. So in Dubai, right now I was in Dubai. I came yesterday here only for these sessions. So in Dubai, I'm directly working with the clients where I'm dealing the projects and getting the requirement from the clients and passing it to the development. So also if they have any issues, fixing the issues directly with the team in sitting with the client. And I have a total 10 cross Salesforce certification I have. So that includes admin, PD1, PD2, Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Marketing Cloud, FSL, and Data Architect. So if you want to cross-verify, in case if you want to cross-verify my certification, you can log into the Trailhead. So if you log into the Trailhead, just type Swapna for Salesforce@gmail.com. So you will be able to see all the certification that I'm holding right now. And whoever is hearing me for the first time, we have a YouTube channel, Swapna for Salesforce. So if you go there, you will be able to see all the sessions which I have taken from the last year onwards. You guys are able to hear me properly? Okay. So I have given a couple of demos also in January, this year, January I have given. So I would suggest go through the session, demo session, so that you will get a clarity. Because if you still have, sitting in the class, if you still have a question, is it a right decision am I taking or not? If you still have this question, sort it out. Okay, go through the demo session that I have given. What are the reasons that we are learning the Salesforce? Because for the next 10 to 15 years, I can guarantee that Salesforce is going to boom like anything. And in Salesforce, we have a releases. Every year, 3 releases are there. And they are coming up with the AI, Einstein, so many things that they are coming up with. So that is going to give us the chance. And one of the most important thing is that Salesforce is the one, whoever is having a breaks, gaps, anything is there. So Salesforce is the one which will be able to take until you show your technical skills. If you do not show your technical skills, ultimately they will not take. But gap does not matter here unless you know the skills, you know the technical, how to solve the issue, how to survive in the company. If you know these skills, that's enough. And you have to be very tactical during the interview. Because the first step is the interview. So do not be scared of the interview. So the first thing that we go into the interview, immediately we get tensed because of the surroundings, sitting in the room in front of one-on-one, right? So that makes us something kind of a nervous, but do not be tensed unless you are confident into the technical. So I'm going to teach everything, whatever is right now in the market, in the company, whatever we are doing, because right now I'm working as a Salesforce consulting manager as well as an architect. So I'll be teaching everything in a day-to-day, whatever we are doing it, whatever kind of a requirement that comes to the developer, what are the requirements that comes to the developer. So I'll be covering everything. but I need 100% dedication from you guys. Whatever I give an assignment, whatever I give question answers or interview questions, those has to be 100%. Initial days for first 15 days or 20 days, most of my sessions are theoretical. And you will see a lot of questions from me, asking the questions or giving the question answers, so that you have to make sure that you are understanding it and giving the proper solution for that. Okay, so that is very important. It might look like a very small question, but when you go to the interview, that small question is, they will take you into the surrounding. Can you? Okay. So it's like a very small question. It's like what is Salesforce? Or we have a profile. In Salesforce, we have a concept called profile. So they will take only the small part of it, like what is profile? And from there, they will dig into the very in-depth. So what are the questions, if I'm giving it, if it seems smaller also, you have to think broader. Okay, so that is required. Whatever I am able to tell you, I'll be explaining everything. But from your end, trial heads, the assignment, question answers has to be perfect 100%. I'm not expecting the 100% output from anybody. Because if we are doing the 100% output, that means something is wrong there. As a human being, we cannot be 100%. Right? Every time giving the answers 100% is not possible. So if you are giving 100%, and if I know that, because I'll be reviewing your question answers and assignment, and whenever you ask a question to me, I'll be speaking in the level of expert, because you are already answering the 100%, whatever I'm assigning you. If I know that if you are lacking it somewhere, because you could not able to complete the work assignment, maybe 50% you have completed, 50% is still pending, right? So in that case, I can understand that how much level that I can speak to you, so that you will be able to capture my words and you will be able to understand my words. So that is very, very important. Don't be shy. Don't be like a fear or nothing. Nothing is required. You have to be straightforward, because this is your first step in your career. Because once you get out of this course, you should be getting the job. There is no doubt in it. If you are going through my classes every day, I give you 99% you will get a job. Right? So this is my passion. So that's the reason I have started Salesforce, giving the training on the Salesforce. So I'll be covering it, admin, Salesforce development, also the consulting part. Consulting part is very important before we go to the admin and development. Because consulting is nothing but kind of if, for example, if you are buying a product, iPhone 14, if you are buying an iPhone 14, what you will do, the first thing you will check the features, right? Battery, how much it is giving. So you will try to read that, so that you will be able to understand, or you will be able to you will be able to understand how this phone is going to work it, right? Then if you are satisfied with that description, then you will go and buy that phone. Similarly, in Salesforce, before you step into the admin or development, you should understand what kind of a functionality, what is the Salesforce, for what we are building the Salesforce, and where it is used, and how can I use it. So those all needs to be we have to understand. Because once you get the clarity of the complete functionality, if I'm telling about anything about the development or admin, configuration, anything, you will be able to connect it, because all the scenarios I'll be covering into the consulting. Okay, so you have to understand the consulting, then you need to able to understand the development. Is there anybody who doesn't know coding part? First time. Okay, anything, nothing, no coding. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
This is
IPC background
coding.
Don't worry. So please switch off camera, Sonali. So don't worry about the development coding part. But what's your background? By PC? How about you? Sorry? MP. You? The last one. You? Okay. What about you? Okay. You know technical? What? MTech?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
BS.
How about you? You know the coding? How about you? You know the coding? Okay. So don't worry about the coding. The best part with the Salesforce is 50% is functional. 50% is a coding. So you need not to place 100% in the coding side. But during the course, you have to focus on. I'll be teaching you from very scratch. Kind of a equal to 10 or B equal to 10. These things everybody knows, right? So from the scratch, I'll be teaching everything, but you need to practice it because the way I go, I'll be more into the technical. Okay. But don't worry, if you are not able to understand, come to me. You can ask 100 times. I'm available. So you can ping me anytime, or you can check with the team here. So they will be able to help you. The only goal for all of us here to get a job. That is ultimate goal, right? So for that, so don't worry, I'll make you to go with the coding steps and everything, but you need to practice it. If I don't see the practice from your 100% practice is not there, then our team is going to ask you. Okay. And also we will have a mock interviews every week. They will be taking up. So Swati, don't worry. So we will go from very scratch onwards.
How can we reach?
Sorry?
How can we reach you?
How can we?
Reach you. How can we reach you?
You can contact anybody. So that's about me. And we have a total 100-day sessions. Salesforce Consulting Admin, 45 sessions. Salesforce Development, 45 sessions. Salesforce Lightning, 45 sessions. And Salesforce Integration, 30 sessions. When I say Lightning, it includes the Lightning Aura as well as LWC, Lightning Web Component. And finally, we'll have a integration. Integration is very quick because in integration, 50% is a configuration. Okay, rest 50% is how to connect with the third-party system. So that you need to understand. And after this, we'll have 2 projects where we will be implementing the real-time projects. Okay, I'll be giving you the real-time projects. I'll explain what is the outcome for the project. Okay, what is the requirement there? What is expected in that requirement and how to implement. I'll not give you the step-by-step in the project, but I'll give you the deadline to complete the project. Okay, so because that project covers everything, whatever we are discussing the Salesforce consulting, admin, development, lightning, integration. Okay, so these all will be covering into the project. So those two projects are, which is almost equal to the real-time project. The one which I am worked on it. Okay, in that project, everything will be covered. LWC is also covered. Okay. Any questions before I move on? Placement, see guys, Shrikant. One thing I'll tell you that if you are perfect in it technical, okay, if you know how to tackle the interview, do you really need a help of placement? Right? So definitely I'll be taking you into the way that you will be able to crack the interview. So when you know that, so I don't think so you need a placement there, but still if you are lacking in anywhere, for example, you are lacking in the interview or the technical stuffs, if you are still lacking it, then our team can guide you that how can we step into the job and how can we crack the interviews. So the team is going to help you. Is that clear, Shrikant? Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
This is Sangeeta, ma'am. Like I have seen, like no one is recruiting a fresher, ma'am.
Don't worry, Sangeeta. I'll give you the example that we recruited the freshers. Recently, in one company, we gave a chance to 3 members from our team. The members who took the session from me, they already joined. 1 member is in Chennai and 2 members are Noida. So these, whatever the gossips are there, don't believe that.
No, ma'am. Not gossips, actually. I have seen in Naukri.
See, Naukri, that is fine, but I can give you the guarantee that, Sangeeta, we have placed 3 members and 4th person is in the same route right now. So you don't think that there is no opening for freshers or nothing. There are opening for freshers, but where are you from? Are you from Hyderabad?
I am from Hyderabad, ma'am.
Then definitely you will be able to get it.
Okay.
Okay.
But in US, minimum they are saying is 5 years of experience. If I go through any consultancy, they'll be keeping the 8 years of experience. So how it works? This.
So do you have experience right now?
I don't have experience, but if we consult here any consultancy, but they are keeping it is 8 years of experience. Minimum is 5 years, so they can drag up to 5 years.
Okay.
So is this training will cover anything? Which is benefit for this interview as well?
My sessions, whatever you are going through it, at least you can give 3 years experience.
Okay.
Okay. Whoever is told you for the 5 years experience, that is not the truth.
In US, minimum they will be keeping
or you are from
5 years
US?
Experience. Yeah.
Okay. If it is a US or if it is from Dubai or if it is from UK, yes, there it is required a 5 years experience. Whoever is from India, it does not require the 5 years experience. But for you, I can help you, Arusha. So how can you keep the 5 years experience? I can help you on that.
Okay. My name is Sirisha.
Okay. Can you change your name?
Yeah, I'll do that.
So don't worry. Whoever is in US, UK, Dubai, I can help you guys to prepare the resume because you guys have a different kind of a resume and different kind of experience are there. So I can help you. But India, definitely there are openings for the freshers, 2 years and 3 years. There are definitely are there. So you can easily get on it. Any other questions offline?
Hi, ma'am. What about the sales for admin job people who don't have IT and career gap people?
Admin is very difficult. If you learn admin, it is very difficult.
Okay.
If you are learning the consulting, admin, or some part of a development, then you can try for the business analyst. Where are you from? Sorry?
I'm from US.
Okay, then you can try for the business analyst, but you need to learn the consulting, admin, and development.
Okay, I have a lot of career gap, ma'am. I am a non-IT actually.
How much gap is there?
Almost 11 years, ma'am.
Okay, so was there anything in between? Have you worked for 6 months or 3 months or anything?
No, I was working as a recruiter.
Recruiter, okay. How many years?
Just 1 year.
Okay.
I was in non-IT actually. I just have the recruiter job and just knowledge about the recruiter job, ma'am.
Okay. So probably we need to talk separately. Okay. I need to understand your complete career. Then I can guide you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So we'll connect later.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am. This is Harish, ma'am.
Yeah. Harish.
Do you have any connections in Canada, ma'am?
Canada, right now, no, Harish.
Okay.
Are you from Canada?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm working here right now in IT only for the last 10 years.
Okay.
So just want to switch my career.
Okay. So which technology you worked on?
So for the last 7 years, I'm working on SQL automation, ma'am. So I'm working on data warehouse side.
Okay. Canada, we do not have right now, Harish, but I can try to find out. Okay. By the time you complete the course.
Yes, of course.
Let me try to find out if somebody is there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. Sonali, are you able to hear me?
Ma'am, if we want to meet you, like when is the best time, ma'am?
Do you mean contacting over the phone?
Yeah.
I'll be available only in the weekends. But you can call Madhu, okay?
Okay.
So that he can pass the information to me.
Okay, like if I want to directly talk to you, then how?
I'll be available only during the weekends because weekdays, this office hours and this course, I'll be fully occupied. So I'm taking morning session as well as evening session. And in between, I'm working.
So in weekends, can we come to the institute and meet, ma'am?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Any time is okay, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, then. So let's start. So today is the first session of Salesforce Consulting Admin Training Day 1. So today's agenda is we will be learning what is this course and what is software and how the day-to-day work in the real time. What are the things that we need to cover? And what is the Salesforce growth in the market? And for next 10 years, how it is the Salesforce growth. And then we will jump on to the bit technical, cloud computing. What is the cloud computing? And initial days, that means our father days, how the cloud computing was there. Now, how the cloud computing is right now. And what is the history of the cloud? And then what is the types of cloud computing? Then conclusion. This is what we are going to learn today. Now, what is software?
A set
What
of
is software?
programs.
Set of instructions.
Okay, here guys, what is software? Sorry?
Set of instructions given to the company.
Okay. How about others?
So set of applications or programs.
Right. So software is a set of instruction provided to computer. How it is going to provide to computer? I have a computer here. What are the set of instructions are provided to this computer? How it is going to provide it? Through?
Input channels.
Input channel, okay. Okay, so I have a system here, okay. In this system, I have a multiple softwares, right? So what is happening? How it is providing the set of instruction to this system?
Application.
Through hardware, interacts with hardware as well.
Through the internet.
Okay.
Hardware.
You are saying something? Inputs, okay, others?
So executable programs, ma'am.
Executable programs, okay. Sorry? So, okay.
We need hardware.
Now you have a mobile, right? In your mobile, you are using at least 5 softwares, right? You have a game softwares. You have a Amazon, Flipkart. These all are softwares, right? So whenever you are using that software in your mobile, that means somebody is giving the set of instruction to your mobile. So that whenever you click on some button or whenever you hit to review the product, right? Somebody is giving you the set of instruction. Okay, look at this product details, right? How it is happening through the browser and internet.
Interface. Yeah. Okay.
Through the browser and internet. If you do not have internet, you will not be able to open the software, right? If you do not have a browser, right? Nowadays in the mobile, we have a apps, but apps also, it might be implemented in the browser only, right? So they are providing through the internet and the browser, the set of instruction is provided to your computer or your mobile or your iPad, so that users are able to communicate that software. Otherwise, they will not be able to communicate it. So that is what is the software. Now, same thing in the Salesforce. Okay, in Salesforce, we have a end users. Who are the end users for the Salesforce?
So the clients.
Admins.
Customers.
Clients, customers,
Clients and customers.
end user.
All are
Right.
End user.
Right. So basically, whoever is using the Salesforce, clients also can open the Salesforce in the mobile. They do not need a laptop. They can simply open the Salesforce in the mobile and they can do the step-by-step actions. For example, passport verification. Okay. For the passport verification, the police officer comes to your house, right? So when he comes to your house, he will bring a paper or he will cross-verify whether it is a correct address or whether it is correct or not, education, everything they will verify it, right? Similarly, in the US, we have an inspection concept. Inspection is nothing but whenever we build a house or whenever we build an apartment or a building, the inspector comes to inspect the house because they have a very strict rules, regulations. If somewhere there is a scratch or a hole or a current is not passing, power is not passing, or it is not in the proper place, they will reject it. So when the person goes to that place, okay, he will take the iPad. He will take the iPad with him and he will go there. So in the iPad, he will open the Salesforce. Because what are the regulations? How he will know? He has to open the application. He has to go through those regulations, right? So those regulations are sitting in the Salesforce. So in the Salesforce, when he opened that, he has to go through all the regulations related to the US government. If everything is fine, then finally he will say that I approve this. I approve this building. You can continue staying here. Kind of this. So similarly, those are the application in the Salesforce also we have. But before it goes to the inspector or before it goes to the policeman, right? Somebody has to build the application. Somebody has to build the application at the back end. So that application we will be building in the Salesforce through the Apex. We have a concept, technically we call it Apex, is the programming language. Apex is the programming language. Notes are very important because if you listen right now, tomorrow you will forget. 100% guarantee, this is my experience. So Apex is the programming language. Using the Apex and Lightning Aura and LWC, we will implement the application so that the end users or the clients, whoever is using the Salesforce, they can able to access the Salesforce, right? We have to build an application to them. So in Salesforce, Apex is the programming language as well as the Lightning Aura, LWC, all combined together, we will be implementing a software for multiple industries. Could be a small, could be a bigger, could be a DMart, could be a Volkswagen, BMW, iPhone, could be any software, right? We can implement through the Salesforce. So example, supermarket, school, hospital, banking, we have a different things are there. So let's take an example for software, okay? Now let's assume, let's take a school or a college or, sorry, hospital, right? Anything if we take. So let's take an example of school. When we go to the school nowadays, okay, nowadays, when before going to the school, there is an interview that they are going to conduct for the kids. Whether kids are able to speak properly or not. You are able to understand? Okay. So whether they are able to speak in the English or not, right? Whether they are able to tell alphabets or not, right? So these all interview will happen and then they will register it. They will give a form. We have to fill the form. If you go directly to the school, they will give you the form. If you are doing it through the online, so you have to fill the online form, right? The person name, age, right? Everything we have to mention in that form, right? So when we fill the form, that means that is called as a registration. That's a registration form, right? Even in the hospital, when you go to the hospital, before going to the doctor, you have to go to the nurse and you have to fill up the details, right? So you have to fill up the details. So that is called as a registration. As soon as the registration is done, you will receive an email. You will receive an SMS, right? So how it is going to happen? That means our ID is generated at the back end, right? If it is a school person, then there is an ID, it is generated for them. If it is a patient, there is a patient ID is generated, right? If it is a BMW, there is an ID is getting generated. For everything, we have a ID that is getting generated. Once the ID is generated, then we will receive a SMS and email. Now this entire flow, how it is going to happen? This entire flow is a automation. Okay, so it's not that nobody is sitting in the system. As soon as the online form is filled, okay, I have to generate a student ID, I have to send an email. If somebody is sitting here, the person has to sit in front of system for 24 hours, right? But we do not have that kind of a patient that nobody can sit 24 hours in front of system. We need a automation as soon as the form is filled by the patient or filled by the school or school member or filled by the anybody, right? Immediately system should capture the details, place it into my software and generate an ID, send an email. This everything is within second it happens. Within a second it happens. Because as soon as, simple example, when you withdraw money, right? As soon as you withdraw money, you will get immediately a message. How it is going to happen? Nobody is sitting in the banking and nobody is observing you that how much you are withdrawing the amount, 5,000 or 10,000, right? So the system is monitoring you. That means somebody has built a software at the back end who is going to monitor every time, whatever action or whatever the event. So in Salesforce term, whenever we click on a button, like you click on a button when you withdraw it, right? Yes, I am confirm I'm going to withdraw it, right? That is called as an event. That is called as an event. So everything, whatever we are doing in the Salesforce, it's called as an event. Okay, whenever a user is performing any event, immediately system is going to hear that and get the information, generate an ID and send an email. It doesn't take it doesn't take even 1 hour also. Within second it happens. So these kind of programs are implemented by us only. We are only implementing it. So that means knowingly or unknowingly, we are connecting to the software and we are doing the actions, right? So we are performing some actions through the software so that it is able to hear us and give the information back. Now assume that if you do not get a message or if you do not get an email after withdraw, right? You will go home. So you will be still verifying your mobile. Why I have not received it? Immediately what you will do, you will go to the bank, right? So their bank officer is going to cross-verify everything. Then it is going to take at least 4 to 5 hours to cross-verify it, right? So those all things are now it's gone. Clear? Any questions on this flow?
No, ma'am.
Feeling sleepy? Okay. Software is, now next, let's see, in our day-to-day, okay? What are we involved in? If I got a job in Infosys or a Dell, right? Or startup company, what am I supposed to do, right? So the first step is gathering the requirement. Initially, you will not be part of the gathering requirement, but you need to understand. Because if you want your career growth, if you want your salary growth, then you have to be part of that requirement gathering. Requirement gathering is nothing but understanding the problem. For example, in my house, there is a repair, fan repair is there. Okay, electrician person comes to my house. If I don't tell, if I do not explain that person, how that person will understand? He will do something else and he will go, right? So similarly, if developer does not understand the requirement, whatever the developer wants, they will implement it and they will give it to the client. But that's not the outcome. My fan is working in so-and-so room, but he has verified in other room, right? So the person has to understand the problem. Understanding the problem is called gathering the requirement. So who will be doing it? Business analyst will be doing the gathering the requirement. But you have to understand because you are implementing the code. You are implementing the program. If you do not understand, it is a kind of a nightmare for you. If you have to explain somebody else also, you will not be able to explain, right? You will not be able to explain it. So gathering requirement is very important. Understanding the requirement, understanding the problem is very important. Now, once you gather the requirement, the next step in the day-to-day is design. Design is nothing but how should I need to build my program? You need to create a flow. Okay, you need to create a flow. Flow in a sense, example of same, the electrician person. If I'm saying this fan is not working, where he has to check the connection wherever it is there, right? He has to build, he has to make his mind where to repair it, where to start it. So similarly, in development also, before you put your hands on the coding, you should understand from where should I need to start coding it. That means you first need to draw it. What are the objects that are required? Objects in a sense, tables. Okay. What are the tables are required? And which table do I need to use it? And what are the conditions that I need to check it? And what should be the output? These all we have to draw it. And we will be doing in our class also so that you will get experience on that. So design is very important. Nowadays, from the developer to till solution architect, everybody is doing the design. Everybody is doing the design. Once you are clear on the design, then you start building the code. That means purely development part. If you understand the requirement, if you're clear on the design, development is not hard. Because you have your design in front of you. Design is nothing but before building a house, right? We'll have a blueprint. At our home, we'll have a kind of a blueprint. Where is the kitchen? Where is the hall? Where is the bedroom? Kind of a things will be there, right? So kind of that you have to design it. Now, once that blueprint is ready, it is easy for the builder to build the house, right? If I do not give that blueprint, it is very difficult for the person. Every time he will call and he will ask me that where to put, how to put, what are the things that we have to use it, right? So similarly, in the development, in Salesforce, we have to draw a blueprint, which is called as a design. Once I have that design, it is easy to implement a development. Now, when I come to the development, it's up to the developer, which one do I need to use it? Do I need to use the Apex? Do I need to use the Lightning Aura? Do I need to use the LWC? Do I need to use the Lightning Flows? Which one needs to be used? It's up to the developer. So once the developer is done, then we'll give the final outcome to the client. Final outcome to the client. That means deliver is nothing but you do not have a notes. Okay. So deliver is nothing but whatever I have implemented it. Okay. In Salesforce. In Salesforce. In Salesforce, we have two boxes. We have two boxes. When I say two boxes, we will see these all whenever we go on. This is for the developer. This black one is for developer. Only dedicated for developer. Which is called Sandbox. Which is called Sandbox. This is only for developer. You do whatever you want. It's kind of a playground for you. Okay, client will not able to access this sandbox. It's only with developers. You do whatever you wanted, but final outcome has to be perfect. So once it is perfect, then we have another box is called production. Another box is called production. So production is where the clients are going to use it. That means client is accessing the red box. Client is accessing the red box. Now it's developer, what the developer has to do, you build everything here. Whatever you are building it, build it. But final outcome has to be proper. With all the limits, everything, whatever we have with the Salesforce rules, regulations, whatever we have with the Salesforce, by using that, build it, and then you have to deploy this to the production. You have to deploy your code to the production. So this is called deploy. Deploy is nothing but, sorry? No, deployment. Deployment is nothing but
Migration.
Moving the code to production server.
Launching of the product.
Okay, few members said correct, migration, which is also kind of a migration. Now deployment is nothing but you have two houses, okay? You build a new house. You are moving the stuffs from the old house to the new house. What you are doing, you are shifting the luggage, right? You are shifting the luggage from the old house to the new house. That is called as a deployment. Moving your code from one place to the another place, which is also called as a migration. Okay, migration, deployment, DevOps also come into this picture, right? So that means whatever you have implemented the code in your own sandbox, you are moving to the production. That means you are moving to the client system. So you have to be very careful when you are moving to the client system, right? So this is called as a deployment. So which is nothing but a deliver. Okay, whoever is taking notes, take it. And development migration is also very sensitive part in the real time, because you should not be moving the code which you don't know, right? If you are moving that, it is going to harm the production client. Client cannot do anything. And this movement is going to happen whenever the clients are not available in this. That means clients are not using this system. Okay, there is called as a downtime. Okay, which is called as a downtime. That means nobody is using the production. When nobody is using the production, that time I move my code changes to the production. It's similar like in new house, nobody is there. When nobody is there, so it is easy for me to move my stuffs from the old house to the new house. If somebody is there, relatives are there in new house, it is very disturbing for them, right? It is not right way to shift that time. So either we will do it before anybody reach to the new house or after that, once they leave. Similarly, here also client, either before they come into the live or after going. That means after 5 o'clock of their time, after working hours of their time, right? So then we will move our code, or else before they log in their day. That means they usually log in at early morning, 7 o'clock. Okay, so before they log in, we have to push our changes to the production. Any questions? Anybody is not clear here? Production, sandbox, deployment. These words, we use it in real time almost weekly once. Because in a week, whatever I implemented it, I'll move it. Okay, so your project manager or a business analyst will be saying that we have to move, we have to do the deployment on this Friday, or we have to do the deployment on this Monday. That means we have to move our changes to the production environment. We have to move our changes to the production environment or client system. Any questions? Anybody who is not clear yet?
So far, good, ma'am.
Okay. Here offline. Okay. Once we deliver, okay. Once we deliver, we cannot give it to the client because I need to test my code, whether it is working as expected or not. Right? So that means I need to do my own testing. When I say my own testing is nothing but whether my changes are properly moved to the production or not. Whether the functionality is working or not. Is there anything break because of my changes? Or is something is not working because of my changes? That means we need to do kind of a testing. Okay. So before that also we will do the testing. So that we will in depth, we will go later, but this is very high level. This is at the very high level. So there are multiple layers are there in this. We will go later. Okay. And before moving on, any questions? Anybody who is not clear so far? Software, Salesforce.
Ma'am, can you explain event, ma'am?
Event?
Yes.
Event is nothing but okay. Event is nothing but, for example, I have opened the patient registration form. Okay. When I open the patient registration form, I'll enter name, patient name. Right. So once I enter the patient name and date of birth, all those details, I'll be entering it here. I'll enter all the details and then finally we'll have a submit button. Finally, we'll have a submit button. What do you call this submit button? Sorry?
Confirming the details to the client.
Confirming the details to the client. Okay.
Commit button. Commit to the database.
Committing.
Redirecting to other page.
Redirecting. Okay. Who asked the question? Event.
Sangeeta, ma'am.
Yeah, Sangeeta. So what do you call this? Submit.
Approve.
Approve.
Event button which redirect to other page.
You're performing an operation to submit the form. It's indirectly creating an event.
Okay. Right. So whatever everybody said, that is right. But here my question is, button is, what is the button? I did not ask when I click on a button, what will happen? I did not ask that. What is the button? So that means what I'm doing is clicking on this button. That means on click. So this is a one event. So when you are clicking on this button, it is called event. What event? On click event. On click event. And when I'm typing here, okay, when I'm typing here the data, this is also event. This is also event. But what kind of an event? On change. On change event. That means whatever we do in the form, okay, whatever user is entering in the application, each and everything is called as an event. If the button is clicked, that is a on-click event. If user is changing the data, that is a on-change event. So these all are called as the events. These all are called as a events. Whoever is background of JavaScript, Java, is anybody here? Okay, you know, right? On change, on click. Right. So in Java, we have this on click, on change. Okay. Similarly, in Salesforce also, whatever action I'm doing it, Whether I'm clicking on the radio button, which is on click on the radio button, which is event, on click event. I'm changing the data, on change event. Each and everything, whatever I'm performing here on the screen, system is keep on hearing me. If I type a first name, system is hearing me because on change. If I'm typing my email ID, system is hearing it. That means something is running at the back end. The engine is running at the back end. The engine is listening to me on the events, whatever is happening. Sangeeta, is that clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other questions? Any words if you do not understand? Yes, you have any questions? Downtime. Downtime is nothing but band. Politics. Whenever they have some argument or something is there, they will close everything, right? Shops, everything, they will close it, which is called downtime. That means client is shutting down their system so that nobody should access that. For example, I have a hospital application. If it is a hospital application, sitting at home, I can fill the form. I can submit it. I can say that I need a doctor appointment on this day, right? Which is available for me. But tomorrow, if I log in, I cannot see that. It's saying that downtime because nobody should be accessing the application because the back end, something is going on. Our code is updated because we are moving our changes to the production. We are updating some softwares, WhatsApp or Facebook. Sometimes what will happen, it will auto update, right? So when you are auto update, the system is auto updating. During that time, you cannot do anything, right? So which is called as a downtime. So in Salesforce or in software, in IT industry, we call that as a downtime. Downtime is nothing but I'm shutting down everything. Nobody can access. Nobody can access. Clear? Any questions? Next, Salesforce market growth. Salesforce market growth. This is very important topic for everybody because they wanted to understand how the market growth is there. If you search in online, now this is 2019. Let me see 2021. Okay. Is everybody able to see this?
Yes.
Okay. Look at this. Right now we have in the online 2023 end of it, right? So if you look at the market growth, comparing to the other softwares, Microsoft, Oracle, SAP, right? So in the year of 2016, it was $5 billion faster compared to other technology. That means by looking at this growth only, you can understand comparing to the other technologies, right? It started actually, the boom started from 2013 onwards. 2013 onwards, it's rapidly going very high. Now it is not able to even touch SAP. And in next 5 years or 10 years, it will go beyond that. It will go beyond that. So their expectation is $23 billion by end of 2023. So by next year, I can see that next 10 years or 15 years, the growth is very high. Okay. So see the gap, how it is increasing the gap. Gap is so much. Before it was very less because the CEO, Mark Benioff, his strategy thinking, his way of thinking is much further, much beyond, much further to the whatever right now we have. Right? So he released AI and Einstein long back only he released it. And right now in Salesforce also we are getting the GPT, Einstein GPT, similar like a chat GPT. In Salesforce also we are going to get it, Einstein GPT. So his thought process is very 5 years further. So that's the reason the Salesforce growth is very huge. And definitely, if you get a job, you will see your salary increment and your Salesforce growth. You will able to see very good growth. That is for 100%. Any questions on the Salesforce? And whoever is thinking about the freshers, right? 2 years experience, 5 years experience, do not worry about it. Right now, you are in a learning phase. When you are learning phase, do not think on your experience. If you are doing here 100%, I can guarantee that my team is going to give you the very good guidance for getting the job. Okay. So right now, don't think about your experience because this is not the right time. When you have to start thinking on is once you complete the LWC. Once you complete the LWC, then you have to start preparing the resume, preparing the how much experience do I need to put it? Because right now we are starting in the month of April. Right? So we will be completing around July end or July mid. When we complete it, I'm sure by that time the openings will be more in India. Okay, so US, UK, and Dubai, you will have the openings. Or I think every day there are openings are there, but it's all based on the experience. Right? But in India, I can guarantee you that by July, we'll have another recruitment process is going on. Freshers we will have. Any other questions?
Ma'am, integration of ChatGPT and all, does it affect the jobs of Salesforce?
No, that's actually a gossip that's going on because of Einstein GPT. The admin roles go away or the development roles go away. No, it's kind of a chart. When you open a page, for example, you are opening some page, maybe Amazon. Do you see here some kind of a chart box which will come here? For example, you have a problem with your phone or your Idea SIM or whatever the SIM is there. So when you open that page, you will see here chart, right? So what is that? They are going to help you to make it comfortable, right? Give me whatever the questions are there. Just type it there. Based on their availability, they are going to contact you. Similarly, Einstein GPT, especially for the client side. Why they have introduced is sometimes client asks very small questions, right? Which does not require a developer help. Okay, for example, how to go to Salesforce. Okay, this is just an example I'm giving. How to go to Salesforce. how to run a report, right? How to open up the record. These things developer does not require. For these scenarios, they can directly go to the Einstein GPT and then they can type what is Salesforce. How can I go to the Salesforce? How can I log in? Where can I see the details? So Einstein GPT can help you, but that's not 100% true. Everybody says that same thing. I'm also hearing it, but it's not 100%.
Okay.
Any other questions?
A small question actually. Is the session is fixed from Monday to Friday of Indian time?
Yes.
Okay. And sessions will be recorded, right, on daily basis?
Yes, Srikanth. Where are you from?
I'm from US.
Okay. Yeah, it is fixed and we will be recording that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's from Sunday to Thursday for us.
Okay,
So
okay.
that's why. Is there any change? Like if it is weekends, weekdays, it's much be better. Just wanted to know.
Okay.
Because it will be Sunday for us.
Okay, Srikanth. No problem. Right now it is a fixed for us. Okay, but anyway, we are recording it. You can go through the recording session.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions offline? Now, what are we going to learn? In this entire course, 4 months course, we will be covering we will be learning consulting, admin, development. When I say development, Apex, Sockle, Social, Lightning Aura, LWC, interface. We will be covering all of this. And during these 4 months, we need 100% dedication from you guys. Okay.
Development only we will get integration, Swapna?
No, integration is a different part. This is not interface, it is an integration.
Okay.
So integration is a different. So in development, we'll have a Apex, Sockle, Social, Sockle. And in the Lightning, we will cover Aura, LWC. And then finally, we'll have an integration part of it here.
Ma'am, is Lightning also the part of development?
No, these all are the separate sessions. Consulting is a separate, admin is a separate, development is a separate, Lightning is a separate, integration is a separate. So total 4 months course. So 45 sessions each one of them. Consulting admin is a 45, development 45, Lightning 45, integration 30.
But what happening is, Swapna, coming to the development, so actually I don't know complete development, but I joined previously outside. But what happened means coming to the development, they are completing very fast development. Even I did not understand some topics, and when I asked them.
Yeah. If you look at my recording sessions in the YouTube channel, I'll go very in-depth, detailed. Okay. So I'll take step by step. So first I'll cover the OOPS concept. Then I'll take into the slowly to the Apex. Then we will go into the step by step. And finally, I'll be covering the Apex or anything real-time scenarios. How can we implement a program? So I'll not be taking it too fast or something. I'm not interested to complete it. My only goal is whether whoever is in my class is each one of them is understanding the everyday class or not. That is my goal. Okay, I can extend 4 months to 5 months also. That's not an issue with me. Is that clear?
Yes, Swapna.
Anybody, any questions here?
Hi, Swapna. This is Jagdish.
Yeah.
So what are the few housekeeping rules? What should we follow during training? How much duration? What is average duration of every day? And I thought it is like every day or it is Monday to Friday. That is one.
Yeah.
Second thing is, what is the extra time that we need to keep an effort so that we can come to the next class by going to Trailheads or some other things that we need to do.
Right. So let me explain that. So our sessions are 2-hour sessions. 2 hours sessions, which is all 7 days. That means Monday to Sunday. Monday to Sunday. Rarely I'll give in case if I'm traveling to Dubai or coming back to India, those scenarios I'll not be available, but other days I'll be available. Monday to Sunday, all days is available, which is a 2-hour session. If I'm teaching you 2-hour session, I need you from 6 hours, 6 to 7 hours practicing it. 6 to 7 hours. Don't look at me like that. It's a very small number. Okay. If you practice 6 to 7 hours, then only you will understand. Because if you do not know the words, if you do not know what I am telling, right? The words, if you are not able to capture, and then it is very difficult for you further going. If you practice at least 6 to 7 hours, then only you next class, it is easy for you. Right? So you have to definitely put 6 to 7 hours that is needed. And whatever the task that I'm giving you, okay, that definitely take around 8 hours. 8 hours of your time. Is anybody who is working here? You are working? You are also working? Okay. What is your timings? Sorry? Okay. Yours?
11 to 9.
Okay. 12 to 9. Okay. So whoever is working, you have to find your time. Okay. But definitely has to be practiced. 6 to 7 hours is very minimum. And I'll be giving the homework. Whenever I give a homework, I'm not expecting you next day. I'm not expecting you to submit your homework next day. I know it is not possible, but I'll give you 3 days of time. 3 days of time to complete the requirement, to complete the assignment, to complete the homework. But interview questions has to be completed on the same day. Interview questions has to be completed on the same day. Sometimes interview questions might be 100. Sometimes it might be 50. Sometimes it might be 150. Right? You have to complete in a day. These questions are very in-depth. Okay, even single word also I'll be asking the question. I might ask, what is Salesforce? Okay, whatever I'm speaking here, everything comes as a question. Because those words are repeated in the real time. And these 4 months, you have to dedicate your time to the institute. 4 hours, you just think this is not my time. Give a complete dedication to institute, then you will see after 4 months, you will be very happy getting the job. Okay, so only thing is that 4 hours, 4 months.
A person
So 4 months, if you are working on a project, if I have given any project to you, if you are working on it on that project, 5 months, assume that 5 months, you have to dedicate it. That must, you have to plan it, see how you are going to dedicate it. So that is very important. If you want a very good salary, a very good company, then you have to dedicate this 5 months.
And one more question.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be telling after when completion of admin portion, you'll be teaching development, then after LW Lightning, right?
Yes, yes. So this time I'll be going step by step. So all days, first I'll be completing the consulting, then I'll move on to the admin, then I'll move on to the development, then I'll move on to the Lightning Aura LWC integration.
Okay.
Right. And in this, whatever I'm talking or whatever I'm speaking, right? In this, all this consulting, admin, development, Lightning interface, whether we are doing in the class or whether it is a homework, which is almost equal to day-to-day real-time work, which is almost equal to day-to-day real-time work. So whatever you are practicing this in 4 months, 5 months, which is going to give you the clarity once you get a job, you should not feel that what I am supposed to do it. How should I get into this application? Because I'll be explaining, apart from the Salesforce, I'll be explaining few other applications. Like we have a Jira, we have a Confluence, something is there, Jira and Confluence, right? So deployment, these also I'll be covering it. Because the day you join, the first access, they will give you the Jira access. They will not give you the Salesforce access. Because Jira is the one where you will be reviewing the requirements. So I'll be covering that part also. So that you should not feel or that I don't know something once I get a job, right? That's the reason I'm going to take you everything, how our real-time work, where should we reviewing the code or where should we reviewing the requirement, right? How to understand the requirement, how to deep dive the requirement, how to do the micro level of the requirement. So these all I'll be teaching you, right? So that's the best part, because that's the reason I'm saying that once you get a job once you go out of my classes, you will be very happy joining the company because you know everything. By that time, you know everything. Whatever the application access they are giving it, you should be knowing it because we are covering everything there. Now, our all goal aim is getting the job.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
What is the difference between Trailhead and Sandbox?
Can you repeat your question?
What is the difference between Trailhead and Sandbox?
Yes, what is the difference, Trailhead, Sandbox?
So Trailhead is given by Salesforce. It's a step-by-step curriculum or course. And Sandbox is developer sandbox environment where they can build code and publish it for their testing.
Yeah, in simple word, Trailhead is a playground. Or it's kind of to understand how we get a requirement, what are the scenarios that we will get it, and how to understand the requirement. Because in the trial head also, there are different options are available here, like a module or super badges, or you have a trials. Different things are there. Okay, so once you get into there, each trial will have a story. So trial head is the one which is going to tell you the story. Story is nothing but they create a kind of a story. Melissa is a client and she wanted to sell 100 cars, but she do not have any application. Kind of a story, like how we teach a story for a kids. So kind of that story will be there in the trial head, and they will give you what are the ways to implement. Once the story is explained, how can I implement, way to implement, how can I implement? And then once it is practical also, they will give you practical. That means you need to practice whatever they are saying it, you have to practice it. And also at the end, you will have a question answers, or else you will have a program that you need to do. Question answers or a program that you have to do. And each question answers, at the end, you will get 100 marks. First time, if you correct it, 100 marks. If you fail it, then it will be a 50. If you fail again, 25. Right? So that is the last is the 25. 100, if you fail 50, if you fail 25. Program, it's a fixed 500 marks you are going to get it. It's a fixed 500 marks you are going to get it. So this is the reason for the trial head is kind of a self-learning. But I don't suggest you go through the trial head unless you go through somebody is guiding you, right? So let's go through somebody is guiding you. That means somebody has to explain you first. Then you do the trial head so that you will be able to understand. Right? So if you directly go with the trial head, what will happen is sometimes you will not understand the story. The concept, the words, or whatever they are speaking in the Salesforce terminology, you will not be able to understand. So first you have to be used to the Salesforce terminology. Then you do the trial head so that it will be easier. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is easier. And in our sessions also, at the end of the session, I'll be giving the related trial head link. So you have to do the trial head link also. Okay. And the sandbox is, it's for the developer. This is only for the real time. This is only once you got the job in the real time. If you want to implement any requirement, then you will use the sandbox, right?
Yes. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, in general, how many sandbox and in real time they will be using? What is the team size?
Yeah, team size, it's up to the individual company. Team can be 5 members, team can be 10 members, team can be 7 members. Okay, it's based on the how much big project I received it. For example, if I received BMW project, BMW is going to sell in India, US, UK, Dubai, everywhere they are going to sell. That means that that's a very huge project. If it is a huge project, definitely my team size will be huge. Kind of 10 members, maybe. 10 members only the developer. If it is a small project, are you able to hear me?
Yes, yes. Hi.
Okay. So if it is a small project, like a registration or school or some kind of a university, which is a very small, it is only dedicated to one location. So in that case, it is a small project, team size is also small. So it's all depending on the project and your company, how they wanted to implement it.
So I mean, if you are a team of four developers, so we will be using only one sandbox, or every developer has their own sandbox?
So yeah, that's the reason I said that we will be going through the in-depth of these sandboxes, because we have another thing which is called as there is a different words are there. So right now, if I speak, they will not understand. So better will go later. Okay, but there is a different sandboxes are there in the real time. Not only one sandboxes, different sandboxes are there, but it is based on the project. Definitely, this is the part of a deployment. During the deployment, we will cover this.
Yeah. So you will be telling all the methodologies that you will be using in real time. Everything you will be covering in the subject, right?
Right.
So not only subject, everything how you do in the real time.
Yes, yes.
You'll be covering.
My way of teaching is not only the technical. I'll not be teaching only technical, because if I teach only technical, you will not be able to get a job. But in order to get a job, along with the technical, you need the working style. You need a different applications, right? And you need a different, sometimes I'll be explaining my own scenario that I have worked yesterday. Okay, so how I deal that, how I worked with a client, what was happened. Sometimes I might share my own experience. So that way, what will happen is you will be able to connect it to the Salesforce.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So ultimate goal is get a job in Salesforce. All the best for all of you. I'm sure at least 99% members will be getting a job. Are you able to understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, every session, every day, end of the session, what are you going to do it? End of session, you must take a takeaway. If you are stepping out of this institute, or if you are stepping out of this room, what did I learn today? Did it help me or not? If it is not help me, do not leave the institute. Sit here, clarify it, and then go. So takeaway is very important. If you are not able to understanding even single word also, get clarity in it. Okay. And then notes, learning. Learning is very important. We should never stop learning. Once you get a job also, you should not stop your learning. Something you have to learn it. Maybe technical, politics, or whatever you are doing it, you have to learn something. Notes. Notes are very important. The reason is whenever you are going for an interview, my all 100 session, you will not go through it, because every session is a 2 hours. You will not be able to go through all the 100 sessions. Only the thing is that notes you have. So notes is the one which is going to help you before you go to the interview. You can quickly refer your notes. And if you want to mark anything on the notes, like which is an important kind of a thing, you can mark it. So notes is kind of a library or kind of your own guidance, which will help you for interview. And in day-to-day real-time work is step 1, understanding the requirement. That is very important. Once you are clear on that, you have to step on to the design, documentation. Nowadays, documentation is very important. Okay, so whatever you are learning or whatever you are understanding the requirements, you need to document. Document in a sense, you need to write in a words. You need to prepare a word pad. You need to build a documentation, and you have to submit the documentation to your project manager. And then you need to build a solution for that. Once the solution is built, then you have to publish the application. Once it is published, then after publishing it, you might need it for the support. Every project is required at least 4 weeks of a support. Similar, like if I am buying a product, they will say that 1 year warranty. right? Similarly, if I'm selling it, if I'm sending to the client also expect that I need some kind of a support for at least for 4 months, right? Or 4 weeks or 1 month, right? That kind of a support we will give it. So that is also go live support. We call it as a go live support. So when go live is nothing but I have already pushed my changes to the production. Now, if client faces anything, first I need to see in the production what is happening, understand there. Then you recreate in the sandbox. Recreate in the sandbox and then fix it. Okay, that is called as a go live. Go live is nothing but it's a live. My code is in live. I cannot change anything. My code is live. I cannot change. It's kind of a movie. Released movie means nothing we cannot change, right? Before movie, we can change it anything. Once the movie is released, once it goes to the theater, nothing can be changed. Similarly, once our code goes to the production, cannot be changed anything. We should not be touching our code. Any questions on this? Everybody is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. If anybody is taking notes, please take it.
Oh, is the session from Monday to Friday?
Monday to Sunday.
Monday to Sunday. So whole week, right?
Yeah.
Ma'am, this is Jobin. Can we take any certifications during this course duration within this 4 months?
I would suggest once the admin is completed, then you go for an admin certification. Once the development is completed, then you go for a development certification, which is nothing but a PD1 certification.
Okay, or should we wait for completing the entire course? Means, is there any part covered from
If you are, like if you can wait it, but if you are in a hurry to get a job, I would suggest my recommendation is complete entire course, then go for a certification. Because sometimes I might be covering the scenarios which are related to the admin in the development, also in the integration also. So I would suggest complete the course completely and then go for a certification, which is easy for.
Okay.
Thank you. Any questions, any?
Ma'am, so what is the 10x certified? What does it mean? Some people have
10 certifications.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you go to the trial head of mine, so go to the trial head. It's kind of a revoice of mine. Is that? So either let me log in. What you guys can do is you can log into the trial head. So here is a credential. So verify certifications. If you click on that verify certification, it will ask verify a Salesforce certified professional. Certification folder, check your status. So let's suppose if I give my email ID, you can also search it, Swapna for Salesforce @gmail.com. Click on search. So these are the certifications right now I'm holding on. Data architect, application architect, marketing cloud, sharing and visibility, platform app builder, field service consulting, experience cloud, service cloud, admin, PD1. So these are the 10 certifications.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Now let's move on. Let's go bit technical. Cloud computing. What is cloud computing?
Cloud computing is internet computing, online internet computing.
Online internet, yes.
So instead of deploying it on the on-premise server, they do it on the cloud. So all the processors, everything is purchased, code is deployed on the cloud, and access is
Provides
given.
the resources.
Okay.
The entire software is operated online.
To store the data in your local server.
Cloud computing is something which we use a browser and internet.
Right.
Accessing computing resources over the internet.
Provides remote access.
Right. So cloud computing is nothing but delivery, take a notes, delivery of the computing resources. Delivery of the computing resources over the internet as a service is called cloud computing. Delivery of the computing resources over the internet. That means I'm delivering the resources. That means I'm delivering the resources over the internet. So here, when I say computing, because see here, cloud computing, cloud, everybody's know nowadays. What is computing here? Computing is, whenever I say computing, that includes data. That includes a software. That includes a server. That includes everything. Computing is nothing but could be a data, could be a software, could be a server. That means I have a something, somewhere something is there where I'm storing everything into that place. Cloud computing, storing the data in cloud. Storing the data in cloud, storing the software in cloud, storing the server, networking, everything in the cloud. So cloud computing is nothing but delivery of the computing resources over the internet is called cloud computing. Now, we know right now what is the cloud computing. Now, how this cloud computing came into the market? When did it started? How it started? Who has introduced it, cloud computing? We all know cloud. Unknowingly, knowingly, we are using the cloud. Ghana.com, listening the songs, right? That is also cloud. We are unknowingly, we are connecting with the cloud. But how the cloud came into the market? Who has introduced it? What is the history of the cloud? The history of the cloud is 1994 is the time. 1994 is the time. That means before 1994, cloud is nothing but a internet. Cloud is nothing but a internet. So everybody used to ask whether cloud is writing or not. Cloud is working or not. That means internet is working or not. Before 1994, everything is the internet. Everything is a internet. Now, after 1994, it started. Internet became a connection. Now they started saying that, is your connection is fine or not? Is your connection is working or not? Internet became a connection. And then cloud became a technology. Cloud became a technology. After 1994, everybody starts saying that internet. They are not saying nowadays internet connection. Connection is working or not. If your song is not playing, so what did you say? Ghana.com is not working. That means cloud is not working. Here Ghana.com is application. Cloud became a technology. Every cloud became a technology. Cloud is not working. Ghana is not working. Ghana is application, right? Similarly, there are so many things are there. Music, everything, whatever we are hearing is cloud. Cloud became a technology. Now, the first cloud is introduced in 2005. The first cloud is introduced in 2005. That means from 1994 to till 2005, everybody saying is cloud, 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 cloud. Okay. You might heard from your father or whoever the relatives are there. That time the interview questions also they used to ask, what is cloud? They used to ask, what is cloud? How the cloud is working? What is there in the cloud? They used to ask these questions in the IT. Because that is the boom. Between 1994 to 2005, it was still implementing it. But nobody knows that what is actually cloud. Okay, in 2005, the first technology is Salesforce introduced a cloud. Salesforce introduced a cloud. So Salesforce introduced Salesforce Platform Cloud. That's the reason we see Sales Cloud in Salesforce. Sales Cloud. Sales Cloud is the first one which is introduced in 2005. Salesforce Platform Cloud. And after 1 year, that means in 2006, Utility Cloud, which is introduced by the Amazon, AWS. So in 2006, AWS introduced the Utility Cloud. So that's the reason nowadays also, if somebody is talking about cloud, cloud is nothing but AWS Salesforce. They only say AWS Salesforce, but there are many other clouds are there. But you ask anybody in the IT, cloud is nothing but AWS and Salesforce. They only say this because these are the very high and the one which are introduced very initially. And next, after that, slowly everybody started using it. In 2008, it called as a Open Nebula, which is a hybrid cloud. That is an open source. Anybody can use it. Anybody can use it, open source. So, and later on, so many clouds came. Any questions here? Anybody?
In 2008,
yes.
Who introduced it, ma'am?
Yeah, 2005, Salesforce has introduced a Sales Cloud.
In 2008, I'm talking.
Oh, 2008, that is a different, it's not a Salesforce. It's not a Salesforce. So only the 2005 is a Salesforce. This is an open source. This is an open source. That means anybody can use it. Using this, other applications can implement a cloud. And this is AWS. Clear? Now, let's move on. Types of computing. types of computing. There are two types of computing. First one is client server computing. First one is client server computing. And the second one is cloud computing. First one is a client server computing. Second one is a cloud computing. Second one is cloud computing. Now we know what is the cloud computing. Just now we have seen. Now let's understand client server computing. Client server computing. Divide the words. Client server computing. Right? So let me give you the example. This is a way back I'm talking about before 1994. Before 1994, we used to have a server in the companies. Wherever I'm working, there we used to have a server. Right? So if employee has to work on any application or they wanted to build a solution, so employee has to go to the office, right? And they have to connect the wire. It used to be a wire connection, which is called as a LAN, local area network. That means employee has to go to office, connect that wire, then only he can start implementing the code. If they do not connect the LAN connection, they cannot even open their application, which is not possible. You cannot work from home. They has to connect the LAN. For example, if there is another employee who is traveling or who is sitting in the different place, okay, in that time, how the person can access. For example, employee 4 is sitting in front of client. He has to explain the application. Whatever is implemented, he has to explain the application to the client. That means this is what we have implemented and we are going to deliver this application today, right? If the person is sitting in front of the client, he cannot do it. The days before the 1994, if he is sitting in front of client, he cannot do it because right now he is remotely working. Whenever the person is remotely working, he cannot access any application which are related to the company. You cannot open anything. You cannot open anything. In case if the employee 4 has to open an application, then there has to be a line connection from the company to his place. From the company to his place, there has to be a LAN connection. That means he has to connect a wire. If he connect a wire, then only he can open up the application. Similar example right now, railways, banking, right? Banking people cannot work from home. Nowadays also they cannot open their application from home, which is very rare, kind of something like a end user they can open, but they cannot open the person account details, salary details, right? Transaction details, they cannot open. The bank person has to go to bank. Once he is connected to the bank server, then only he can open up the bank details. He cannot open somewhere else or he cannot open from the mobile. Complete access won't be there for the banking people who are sitting in the money counter or who are sitting in the company, the banking, those has to go to the company. They cannot carry the laptop. They cannot work from home. Similarly, railway, right? So railway also, they have a, whenever you go for a ticket booking, right? So whenever you go for a ticket booking, they are connected to the LAN. It is so fast, right? In entire world, the railway connection is common. The railway connection is common. So these are the few examples. Still we have a LAN connections, right? So this is called client server computing. That means this server is placed into the client. This server is placed. So that means I have here client server computing where I have a server, and if employee has to work on or build a solution, anything, they has to connect a LAN. Without connection of this LAN, they cannot work on. Still, it is exist banking. Banking industries, they has to connect it. And if they are working for remotely, cannot be accessed. If they want, there has to be LAN connection. If the banking person is working from home, they has to connect their LAN connection from their company to the till their home. So this is client server computing example. And this example is, which is exist before 1994. Right now also we have for the few industries, which is a banking industry. Any questions here? Okay, so let's move on. Now, next, cloud computing. Now, cloud computing is divided into three parts. Cloud computing is divided into three parts. Software as a service. The first one is a software as a service, which is also called as a SaaS. Cloud is divided into three parts. The first one is called software as a service, nothing but SaaS. Second one is a platform as a service, which is nothing but PaaS. Second one, platform as a service. And the third one is a infrastructure as a service. Third one is infrastructure as a service, which is nothing but IaaS. Which is nothing but IaaS. Now we need to understand this, each one of them. In Salesforce also we have software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. Okay, we'll go step by step, understand what is the each one of them. Now the first one is a software as a service. Software as a service is basically to use. When I say to use, I cannot implement there anything. I'm just using the application. I'm just using the application. I'm opening the application, entering the details, submitting the information, that's it. That means as an end user. As an end user, if I want to raise a ticket for mobile company or servicing company, or let's say idea showroom, anybody, what I'm doing, I'm just opening up the application, right? I'm submitting my concern. That's it. I'm just using it. I'm not developing it. Whatever the application that I use it is called as a software as a service. Software as a service is nothing but any software available for use. That means any software available over internet. Over internet, and I'm able to access the software through the internet. I'm able to access the software through the internet. WhatsApp is another software. We are not developing the WhatsApp. I'm just using it and sending a message. Facebook is another software. I'm just posting the message or pictures, videos. Those are softwares. We are not building it, right? Similarly, AHA, Netflix, whatever you guys use it, those all are a software. We are just watching there, right? If I have an internet, I can open the Netflix or AHA or whatever is there, right? Those all I can open and I can use it. Example for software as a service is Gmail application, Gmail also. I'm just using it. I'm not implementing anything code in the Gmail. Either I'm sending an email or I'm receiving an email, right? I don't know. Once I click on a send button, what will happen? I don't know. But within a second, the other person receives an email. And there is no connection between two computers, right? Somewhere it goes and whatever it happens, and then the person will receive, right? It is a software. We are not developing something. Similarly, banking, flight booking also. I'm just selecting the date and booking the flight ticket. We are not developing. I'm not customizing anything for the flight booking. I'm just using it, right? That is also called as a software as a service. That is also called as a software as a service. Amazon, I'm opening up the product. I'm reviewing the product. I'm purchasing the product. Like, right? I'm just using the Amazon. Amazon is also software as a service. And next is called IVR, interactive voice application. Interactive voice application is nothing but whenever you call center, right? Immediately there is a voice that comes in, right? So that is welcome to the HDFC Bank. If you want in English, press 1. If you want the Telugu, press 2. Like that they will say, right? That is a voice message. That is called interactive voice application. Nobody is speaking there. Nobody is sitting in there in the phone and nobody is answering. That is an application. As soon as you call a call center, immediately the application here, the software here, the ringtone or whenever you call, immediately the voice is connecting it. At a time, 10 members can call, 100 members can call. Everybody can able to hear that voice. There is a no restriction, right? That is also application, voice application, which is called IVR, interactive voice application. That is also software. We are just listening to the software. And this software as a service is used by the end users or a client. For Amazon, we all are clients. I'm purchasing it. I'm an end user, right? For AHA or a Netflix or banking, flight booking, we are a clients for them. For flight booking, we are a clients, right? So we are not implementing anything. So whoever is the client, whoever is the users, end users, they use a software as a service just to use. They are not going to do anything here. Nothing. We are not doing anything. We are just using it. Right? Any questions?
No.
So far clear, ma'am.
Okay. The session will go on for more 15 minutes. Okay. Software as a service is combination of internet plus browser. That means I need to have an internet. If I have to open the Amazon, I need an internet. If I have to open AHA, I need an internet. I need a browser. Okay, few applications which are required, internet and browser. Okay, IVR might not require. IVR doesn't require it. But if you are calling it through the web, you can also call through the web. You can go to their site. There is an option to call. If you are calling from the web, then you need a browser and internet. And the next one is a platform as a service. Platform as a service. Platform as a service is to build. Platform as a service is to build, to customize it. That means I'm implementing something. Developers are implementing something. Application is implemented. Application is developed. Platform as a service is to build it. That means any application provides any type of a development, customization, software, right? If I have an application and if I can able to customize the application, that means they have given some option where I can customize it. That means I can modify mine. Similar way in Facebook, right? Some kind of a customization, background. You can change your background, right? Or you can change your text font style, right? Those are minimum customization, right? But there are few applications like designer applications. Those applications they will give and you can modify. Similar like a paint application. Nowadays, paint applications are coming on, right? You can customize it, those applications, right? So in mobile also you can implement it, right? You can install that and you can modify anything in the mobile. So that means those are the platform as a service. So any application that provides any type of a development, right? Any type of a development to customize the software. You wanted to make it more beautification to the application. So in that case, you can modify anything. And the next examples, Apollo. Apollo is the one which, for example, Apollo has given a requirement to me to build applications. Okay. Now I have to write logic in the Apex or in LWC, in Lightning Aura, right? I need to implement it. Then finally I'll deliver to the Apollo, right? So that means in Salesforce, I'm doing a customization. In Salesforce, I'm building the application. I'm doing the development. So once my development is done, then I'm giving to the Apollo. You can take any business. Okay, this is a just example for a Salesforce. For example, if you are using a HTML, right? If you are building a form using the HTML, that means you need to first write the HTML code, right? Then only the form will be taken up. Then only the form will be, you can use it and you can give it to anybody, right? So wherever you see that you are doing the development or a customization. Similarly, it is an email application. Email application is a software. Email application is a software. If you do not have that software, Gmail does not work. If you do not have an email software, Gmail does not work. In the email software, Google has implemented a code in the email application and they delivered to us so that we can use the email application. Through the email application, I can send or receive the emails through the Gmail. Similarly, banking and similarly Amazon. And this platform as a service is used by the developers or admin. Platform as a service is used by the developer or admin because we will be most of the time spending a time on the platform as a service. In Salesforce, developers, 90, 80%, 80 or 75% will be spending our time into the platform as a service because we will be building the applications. Any questions on the platform and service? Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So platform and service is basically develop and test. Develop and test. And the last one is the infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as a service. This is for storage. Now I know the application. I know where I am building the code, right? I need to keep that code somewhere. I need to store that code somewhere, right? Otherwise, whoever is using that application, they cannot access it. To store it, we use an infrastructure as a service. To store the code or the application or a networking or a server or a data, whatever is there. Because user is entering the data. When user enter the data and click on a submit, the data has to be sitting somewhere. Because when the doctor come into the place and doctor will open up the application, he will check who is the person that I need to review right now, right? In that case, that I need a data there. That means data has to be stored somewhere. In order to store that data, we will be using the infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as a service. All softwares, hardwares, application, database, server, security, networking, everything will be stored in infrastructure. It is similar like in house, kitchen is mandatory. Right? So you have to prepare everything, then only at home everybody can have it, right? So all the storage where it will happen, all the food items, you can store it into the kitchen. So similarly, all of the things are stored in the infrastructure as a service. Example for infrastructure as a service, you take any application, Apollo, Gmail, banking, Amazon, and this is also used by the developer admin. Also end users, clients. Done? Is everybody done?
Yes.
Okay, here few people are taking the notes offline. Okay, so now overall, let's see. Software as service, platform as service, infrastructure as service, overall. Now, first box is SaaS, and the second box is PaaS, and the third box is IaaS. Software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. Software as a service is user interface. User interface. Platform as a service is logic. Logic that I'll be implementing a logic. IaaS is nothing but a database. Storage. Now, for example, let's take an Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, right? These are the software as services. These are software as a services. In order to you to open the Instagram, Facebook, YouTube channel, whenever you open it, you always want to see latest videos, latest post, which has happened last few minutes back. Now, how that is done? Somebody is implemented in the platform as a service using some technology, right? So they have used a technology, they have built or they have developed a program so that any end user open the Instagram or a Facebook or a YouTube channel, they first should see the latest videos or the latest messages, which is released just a few minutes back, right? If you refresh also, automatically it will happen. If you open the application also, immediately you will see the latest videos. And in YouTube, whenever you see the latest videos, you will see the related search latest videos, right? In Google also, whatever you did a latest research, right? So those the related one, it is captured by the platform as a service. They are implemented that way so that you are able to see, right? Now, in order to you to see in the software as a service, we need to, as a developer, need to store the data into the infrastructure as a service, right? Once this is done, then you need to push the changes to the software as a service. Now you developed in the platform as a service. Now you have to push it as a software as a service, right? That means now nobody can touch the code. Can be used only as an application. Can be only used as an application. Now in this scenario, we have three things. In this scenario, infrastructure as a service is very important. Infrastructure as a service is very important. If you do not have an infrastructure as a service, if you do not have infrastructure as a service, these two cannot work. Because this is a heart for the cloud computing. Everything is stored here. The data is stored here. Server is stored here. Application is stored here. Networking is stored here. Everything is stored here. If you have this, then only the software as a service or a platform as a service can be working. If this is working, then only you will be able to open Instagram. If this is not working, there is no data. How can you see the data? You cannot see the data. So this is very important. It is a hard for the cloud computing. Whichever cloud technology you take any cloud technology, IaaS is very important. Everybody has this concept. Any questions so far? Any questions?
Not for me, ma'am.
Oh, sorry. So what did we learn so far? What did we learn so far?
Client server computing and cloud computing.
Cloud computing.
From the beginning. From the starting of the class.
What is software? Day-to-day work in real time. Software market growth.
Trial
heads.
Cloud computing.
What is course? What is software? Then after that, what did we learn?
Day-to-day.
Day-to-day. And then we have
Marketing growth.
Cloud computing.
Background of cloud computing.
Yes. Types of cloud computing.
Then
types of cloud computing. Then what we have seen?
Software as service.
Software as a service.
Platform as a service.
Infrastructure as service.
Right. So
and
this
the examples.
Is, right. So this is kind of a story. Last 2 hours, I just explained a story. Story of cloud computing. I just give a story to you. Now this story you have to remember. In this story, I covered everything, including the real time also. Right? So if I ask tomorrow also, you have to explain day-to-day work in real time, whatever the question I ask, you should be able to explain it. Okay. Any questions? Anybody still confused in the offline? You are clear?
Okay, example of banking in client server computing and cloud computing. In both cases, you give an example.
Because banking we have end user, how he is using it. Right? So as an end user, when I withdraw the amount, that amount immediately I'll get a SMS. That is a automation. That is the end user who is doing it. The employee who is working in the company has to go to the banking. He has to go to the bank because he has going to review the sensitive data of the customer. Right? So if they wanted to review that data, they have to. So they have a 2 ways of implementation time. Now I cannot say that withdrawing money that it is connected to the LAN. It is not connected, right? It is just there. It is there. With the Wi-Fi, it is working. Right? So we have both the scenarios for that. Any other questions? So this is the trial head link. So I have just pasted it. Oh, sorry. You will be receiving the trial head links. Or else I'll give you in the reception, the trial head link. Any questions? Before you leave the class, any questions, any concerns, anything that you wanted to clarify?
What are the jobs are available in Salesforce, like admin or development with support?
Sorry, can you repeat that? Can you repeat? Okay, online, if there are no questions, thank you. Yes, tell me.
Hi, ma'am. This is Hari. I mean, in Salesforce, what are the roles are available in Salesforce environment?
Roles and responsibilities, I already covered in my demo. There are different roles are available. Salesforce admin, Salesforce development, Salesforce consulting, Salesforce business analyst, Salesforce technical architect, Salesforce solution architect. So I already covered in the demo. So you can just go through that. So including the salary also I have covered.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So whoever is from the US, UK, or Dubai can leave. Thank you. Any questions offline?
Thank you. Bye.
All the applications are cloud.
All the applications right now, most of the applications are cloud. Yes, some are browser.
Swapna, tomorrow is also same link, or will you send the link?
No, it's the same link, Venkat.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Ma'am, which device is best to use for a developer while using Salesforce?
What do you mean by device?
I mean, is iPad offering all functionality? iPad?
See, you are practicing right now. You are not an expert. When you are practicing it, better use the laptop instead of going with the iPad. Once you are expert, you can open in the mobile, you can open in the iPad, wherever you want. But for the practicing, you need it because you need to code it. You cannot do the coding in the iPad. You are able to see my screen, right?
Okay, means sometimes I keep traveling, so can I use my iPad for? Means is the user interface like in a Safari browser? Is it the same like in Chrome?
Yeah, you can use the Chrome, you can use the Safari, you can use anything. It works.
Or will it change the interface for me in the iPad?
No, it doesn't change.
Okay.
But whenever you are practicing it, make sure you practice it on the laptop.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, quick question, please.
You can leave. Yes.
Is this your link to your demo, ma'am? I'm putting it in the chat.
Demo. If you open the YouTube Swapna for Salesforce, you will be able to. I'll put the YouTube channel.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. This is the YouTube channel. Go to the playlist. You will see the demo.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. You have a good day. We'll talk
Thank you.
tomorrow.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Let me stop recording.